Hi, my name is Andrew, and you are watching the first entry in my viola vlog. What you just heard was the very beginning of the solo piece that I've been working on lately, which is Rebecca Clark's Viola Sonata. And call it, if you will, a little bit of a preview of what you might see if you continue to follow along in my viola journey, because I'm definitely going to be posting more of this piece as I learn it, either snippets of it or eventually entire movements of it. Anyway, a little bit about myself. I'm 34. I live in Sacramento, California, and I am an amateur violist. Which is to say, I don't plan on quitting my day job and trying to make it full-time as a professional musician. But I do try and make as much time for music as I can, and I play in 2 orchestras. I play in the viola section of the Camellia Symphony Orchestra, which is a semi-professional orchestra that plays the classical repertoire, and I am principal violist in the West Sacramento Community Orchestra, an amateur orchestra that plays more pop stuff. They're very different experiences, but rewarding in their own ways. So, why vlog? Well, for quite a while I've been following string players' YouTube channels, mostly professional string players or some conservatory level students. But I haven't seen so much on YouTube by amateur string players. But lately, in the last few months, I've started following some channels by adult beginner string players, or at least late beginners. And I think this resonates with me a whole lot, because I was a late beginner myself, so this is really where I was 17 years ago. I heard over and over again when I first started playing that I was too old to ever learn to play a stringed instrument. So I love these YouTube channels because there's so many people on YouTube now proving that idea wrong. Although, funny enough, now that I've moved to Northern California, I play in orchestras with a lot of local violin teachers, and some of them even specialize in teaching adult beginners. So there's that. Your mileage might vary depending on where you are. Well, I thought, though, that there aren't that many other channels by amateur string players who aren't beginners, so I thought I could offer a slightly different perspective, which would be both the higher level amateur and also the late beginner many years later. I thought it'd be fun to keep track of some of my own progress, because even as long as I've been playing viola, I'm still learning and improving myself. And I know it's maybe sort of cliche, but I think the day I stop learning is the day I stop playing. So I'm going to be posting progress videos, music that I learn, and as I improve my technique and such. But, progress isn't going to be quite as obvious at this point as it would be for people who have been playing for a much shorter time. So I thought I'd also spend some time talking about what I'm doing as a violist in this vlog. See, the other reason I thought this vlog would be worth starting is I know so many people who used to play an instrument, whether they took lessons as kids or played in school. Most of them stopped playing once they were out of high school or college, or really whenever they didn't have organized performing opportunities around them. So if you stay tuned, you'll hear more about life as an adult amateur violist and about some of the performance opportunities that exist for us. You might see some video from my orchestra rehearsals or concerts or chamber music reading sessions, or really wherever else I might be playing viola. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the thing that made me feel like now was a good time to start this vlog, which is 2 weeks ago I went to my first chamber music workshop. The workshop I went to is called CalCap, and it's every summer at Sacramento State University. It's one of many similar workshops that happen all over the world, so I thought that just as an example, I'd talk a little bit about CalCap and give you guys some idea of what to expect in case you might be interested in going to a chamber music workshop at some point yourself. Like many other workshops, CalCap is aimed mainly at adult amateur musicians as well as student musicians. So there was a wide range of skill levels there, everything from intermediate learners all the way up to even a few professional musicians who were there as participants. It was a week long. The session I went to was the last week of July. And the way it worked was every day we had a new piece to perform and some time to play stuff on our own. Every morning they would assign everyone to a completely new group with a new piece of music, normally one movement of a piece because of time constraints in the concerts. We would have the morning and the early afternoon to work on the piece with our group and with a coach. And then we would perform the piece the very same day in a concert that was either late afternoon or early evening. And then after the concerts were over, we had the rest of the night to freelance. And what freelancing meant was putting together our own groups and playing whatever we wanted. That was optional, but it was so much fun that I did all 5 nights. They sort of helped us out with that. They had a bulletin board where we could post the kinds of groups we wanted to play in, either a type of group or a piece we wanted to play, or we could sign up in someone else's group. So I thought every part of CalCap was just an amazing experience. First of all, I thought the assignments were really thoughtful. They tried to assign everyone pieces that they could play and put musicians of similar skill levels together. And they still gave everyone a really good variety of music, both in terms of styles. Everyone had at least one piece from each of the major eras, from classical to modern, and also different types of ensembles, which I especially appreciated, because normally when I get together with friends from my orchestras and play chamber music, it's usually a string quartet or a string quintet, and we end up playing a lot of the same material because we only have those types of ensembles. So I thought it was really nice that 4 out of 5 days, the ensembles that I was assigned to were either mixed strings and winds or strings with the piano, and that meant I got to play a lot of music that I wouldn't normally get to play. And the rehearsals were a really good learning experience. A little stressful because there was so little time to learn the music, but also the compressed rehearsal time meant we learned a lot about playing as an ensemble and putting together this music really quickly. And the concerts were a whole lot of fun. Very low stress, actually, because we had a very supportive audience. Most of the audience was other people at CalCap, of course, and maybe a few friends or family members that participants may have invited to a concert or two. So the audience members all knew that most of the musicians were sight reading just a few hours ago. So when I was listening to other people play, I was mostly just really impressed by how well the groups were able to come together in so little time. By the way, one of my performances ended up on YouTube, and you can watch it right here. The piece here is, it's the last movement of Erno Dohnányi's first piano quintet. Enjoy. Oh, and freelancing. That was a different experience. Also great because we got to play entire pieces instead of just a movement of a piece, and because we had our own choice of what to play, we played a lot of the really well-known repertoire that, again, we normally wouldn't get to play. One night I played Brahms Piano Quartet, one night I played the Schubert Octet, and one night I played Brahms String Sextet. So yes, CalCap was an amazing experience, and I think a lot of chamber music workshops would be, so I would highly recommend chamber music workshops to anyone really who can find the time to do it. And as I said before, you don't have to be a virtuoso to play at these workshops. As long as you're at least an intermediate level player and can sight read reasonably well, you can get a whole lot out of these workshops. I definitely plan to go to more workshops in the future, whether it's CalCap again or maybe traveling somewhere else and going to a workshop as part of vacation. A lot of people travel to these workshops. Local people are probably only between 1/3 and 1/2 of the musicians at CalCap. The rest came from out of town, and there were musicians from as far away as Texas. So yeah, traveling is definitely an option if you can't find a workshop in your area, or if you just want to go somewhere else and meet a different group of musicians. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you'll stay tuned, and please subscribe if you'd like to follow my viola journey. If you have any thoughts or ideas about what you'd like to see on this channel, please leave a comment. Well, thanks again for watching. See you next time.